Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Very glad to have you. Please consider subscribing. Today we're making some bows. Not for anything particular, well, some of them are for something particular, but I just want to show you guys my 3 most used bows, my 3 easiest bows using the Easy Bow Maker. I've had this for probably a year now, and very rarely have I made a bow by hand or used another bow maker, because this is just very easy, very simple. Sometimes I lose it in my house, but I always end up finding it. Yes, I lose this giant thing. This was lost. This little spool holder was lost forever, and then I found it. So I am gonna start off. I'm only making 1 bow for a specific project. Everything else is just gonna be like, hey, I'm making a bow. This is some ribbon from my grab bags from Michael's. We are making a 7 loop. 7, what kind of bow is this? This would be like your traditional round bow, kinda. Yeah, there's nothing really, I don't know that it has a name. It's just, if you make a bow by, this one's gonna look the most like a hand bow. So I'm gonna measure, what is this? 8 plus 6 is 14. Let's make that one tails that long. Let's give it some 12-inch tails. I'm gonna pinch right here. My ribbon is on my spool holder and it's coming out. It's coming out towards me. See, like this? This way. So put that in there. Remember, every time you're going through these 2 pegs, you're turning. You're pinching and you're turning, except for the last time. Alright, and we are going to make a 12-inch bow, so we need to go to the 6. So it's pinched, it's turned. I like to kind of do it once it's already in there. I don't know that it works any better for me that way. It's just, that's how I do it. Okay, so we have, did I pinch and turn that? Pinch and turn. This ribbon, it doesn't matter because it's both on the same side, but get in the habit of making sure you turn, even if you're using a ribbon that's the same on both sides. Alright, so we have 2 loops. One's gonna go up, one's gonna come down. You can do this when the bow is done on here, but if you're starting out, do it as you go. You know, it just kind of helps things, kind of makes things a little more organized so you know where you're going next. And we're gonna do 6 again. It's pinched, it's turned, and you guessed it, 6 again. Pinched and turned. Alright, now we have, this is the first one we did. We're pulling this one down. This one was down before, and now the next one's going up. You're making an X. This is hard with these giant rolls of ribbon on here, huh? Now we're going to make 2 more loops, both at 6 inches. Pinch, turn. Pinch and turn. And if you want to, at this point, this is where I'm going to stop. If you wanted to do 8 loops, you would just push one up, push one down. You know, you'd start over where you're doing. You could do as many loops as you want. And then once you do as many loops as you want, I like 6, this is fine for me. We can kind of see what kind of bow this is going to give us. If you want something fuller, you can add more loops. The minimum I would do would probably be like 6. So this has gone in, twisted, and now for our last loop, which is going to be our center loop, we want to come, not the 6, we just want to come in a little bit. It doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, the space, as long as it's smaller than the 6. You could go to like a 3. Yeah, where am I at right here? Yeah, that's like a 3.5. So in this one, you don't have to turn because this is our nice side up. Isn't it? Yeah, this is our, this is our nice side up. So that's our bow in there, and I'm going to cut the tails to match sideways like this. Take this off of here because it is definitely in the way. And I like to keep my ribbon, there's a big tangled mess of it right here because I don't like to do this when I'm making videos, you know, spend the time to have to go and put all the ribbons back together. I usually do that afterwards sometimes. I'm just going to take a straight pin, stick it back in there, which we're going to be using that again. So, alright, so now let's go over what we have. We have our one tail, one loop, two loop, 3, 4, 5, 6, little center one, and then the second tail. So I want to make sure that this is where everything should be. Everything that's going up should be up, down, down, sideways, sideways. So you could have been doing that the whole time you're making your bow, or you can do it all at the end. It really doesn't matter. I kind of do both, like I did it while I was making the bow, and then I did it again just to make sure that everything is kind of in its place before we start really yanking this around. So here's a pipe cleaner. I have been using pipe cleaners a lot. I didn't used to because I never felt like I got them strong enough, but I figured out what I was doing wrong. I wasn't pulling tight enough or pushing up. I'll show you. If you are not sure where this is going to go, like I don't know where this bow is going to go, you can put 2 pipe cleaners together just to make sure that you have whatever kind of length you need. So I'm twisting these 2 together, and that also makes the center part that's going to be receiving all the stress a little bit tighter. And now I'm going to go underneath. My thumb's over here. My index and my middle are on either side of these pegs. Thumb right here. Make sure that this is bent somewhat in half. Pick it up and hold it tight. You don't have to strangle it. This is going between my index and my middle finger. I'm pulling it back. Still holding on pretty tight. And you're going to see that there's all these indentions where we were twisting. That's where we want our wire to go. So see, this is a good example right there. My wrist does not bend this way. Okay, and the way that I used to just like start, from here, when I was first making bows with pipe cleaners, I would just start from here and just start twisting. And my pipe cleaners always broke because I would twist them too much because I was trying to get it tight. So what I started doing, take all of this and pull it up. And don't worry about smashing your bow. If you're anything like me, you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to fluff it 150 times. This goes up. Normally, I make sure that I have a nail on this thumb. I don't right now because it ripped and it broke. It'll grow out. It usually has a gel overlay on it just because I really want the strength of that. So this nail, jam it into there as close as you can to the base and then turn it. And you're not turning the wire, you're turning the bow. Okay, so already we have a bow that doesn't look half bad for being kind of smushed. These tails can come whatever way you want them. Sometimes if I cut them short, they'll just kind of go into the bow. If you want them to come down, you have to kind of twist one around. Like this, let's make this the real traditional bow here. No, this is gonna go underneath here, there we go. And if you want, you can use like one of those fluff boxes things. I kind of feel like they're unnecessary because we're eventually going to attach this to a wreath where we can fluff the bow. So yeah, if you need to attach this to anything else, go for it. I don't feel the need to. And now we are going to, again, put one up, one down the middle, one up, one down, one in the middle, and then our center bow there. This one loop looks a little bit longer, but I find that is usually my eyes playing tricks on me. And if it's not my eyes playing tricks on me, it really doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna come up to your wreath with a measuring stick. Or a ruler, as you may call it. Why did I say measuring stick? So yeah, that is what I would call your very average florist bow. I think that's what the Easy Bow Maker Guide calls this one. It's just a nice round bow. Stick it on your mailbox. Stick it on a, you know, a nice simple wreath. This is always a good way to go. Okay, so that's one. And look, I'm like, I don't know what wreath it's gonna go on. I don't even know where it's gonna go right now. Let me just stick it over here. Okay, the second one, what are we gonna do here? The second one, I'm gonna use this again. And we're going to be doing a 3-loop bow with 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch. Because I need, this is the bow that I actually need. I'm working on a orange tulip wreath, and I need a bow with some purple in it, but I don't want it all purple. I don't want it like dark purple. I just want a little bit. So for this one, I like all my loops the same sizes. Like, I mean, you can do that florist bow where you go down a little bit each size. You can do this one where you go down a little bit each size, but since we're only using 2 ribbons, we're gonna stay with our 6 inch because that's usually what I like. So for this one, we're gonna give us like 8 inches of the tail, because these tails are gonna be part of the bow. And except, you know, like with this one over here, where it was hanging down from the bow, like this is gonna be a part of the shape of the bow. So put it in, pinch it, put it in, twist it. And this one is very easy. This is the Lisa bow, I believe. I don't know. This is the technique she uses. I don't know if she has like a certain ribbon combination. I don't think that matters. You do you. Use 10 ribbons, use 2 ribbons. Okay, we're gonna do a 6 over here. Pinch it, turn it. Do 6 over here. It's pinched. Oh, and we don't turn it this time because we are done with this ribbon. So this is a bad ribbon to show you this on because it's the same on both sides, but you'll see with the next one because that one actually has 2 different sides. Alright, now I'm going to use this Argyle from Craft Outlet, and we're going to do the exact same thing, except our tails started over here. This time our tails are going to start over here. And when you're getting ribbon, generally, not all the time, generally the heavier the ribbon, the better the bow is going to be. It's just going to, I mean, it's going to be more structured. But you can get ribbon that is too heavy. I was doing, I don't even know what it was. I was doing something and the ribbon was just so heavy. A lot of the 4-inch ribbons are like that, where they're just like, the ribbon is heavier material, the wires are a smaller gauge, but you can work with it. So this one went to 6, went through here, gonna turn it. When we make our next loop, it'll be the nice side up. Okay, turn it again. Nice size up. And here you can see this is our last one. So this is the right side of the ribbon. If we were to turn it, this is the wrong side of the ribbon. These are very similar too, but you can see this one's a little lighter. And now we will cut that off. And this is more of a, like, I don't want this to be, I want this bow to be nice and airy, and just to give me a little bit of that purple, I want to contrast with the orange tulips. Whoa. Okay. So again, we're going to take our pipe cleaner. I know this is going on a grapevine. I don't need a long tail. Make a little U out of it. And if you want to pre-shape this one, 2 of these are going to go one way, along with the tails. And then this one's going to stay in the middle. And then this way, tails, tails, and then these loops go between. And this stays in the middle. Okay? So it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like there's 5 loops, but 2 of them are tails on each side. Okay, thumb on one side. Make sure you got everything underneath here. Lift that up. It slipped a little, but it should be fine. Okay, so there it is. Pull it. Jam your nail in there. You don't need a nail to do this. It's just, I find it helpful. It's a little hard to do with my stubby nothing nail right now. Alright, so before we do any more fluffing, we're going to dovetail these. You can dovetail those too. You can cut them on a slant. You can do whatever you want. It's your party. And these are going to be, I'm going to leave these around 8 inches. I'm not going to cut too much off of them because I want them to stick out just a teensy tiny bit further than the bow, than the loops rather. There we go. And I'm just folding this in half, nice sides together, and then cutting towards the end. And you get a nice dovetail. All right, and with this one, lunch is ready. This one's really comes into shape easily. These are the bows I made on my Christmas tree this year. I made a bunch. If you need to pull, you can, because if you've tightened it correctly, they're not going anywhere. I was like, are those different sizes too? Alright, so there's the Lisa bow, and again, you can do this with however many ribbons you want. Just make sure start tails on this side, finish, start tails on this side, finish, go back and forth. So when we look at the bow, we have 2 loops, and then the second color loop, there's 3 loops on each side, right? And there's 2 tails on each side. That's what we want. And then when it's in the wreath, these will get kind of pulled under like this. So they mimic the look, like top down, you would think that that was a full loops on the bow. Okay, so that will go on my tulip wreath. And again, I'm just gonna stick it over here because I don't know where else to stick it. I'm pretty sure I burnt my taquitos. But moving on. This next bow is my current reigning favorite. Simply because it is the easiest and you don't have to have too much of any one ribbon to make it. It's the Funky Bow Julie Samako from Southern Charm Wreaths. I think she came up with this. She does it by hand. I've seen a lot of people do it. A lot of people call it a lot of different things. It's the funky bow to me. That's just where it's always going to be. And I have over here a bunch of ribbon that you can't see. Most of it is almost done. I mean, there's a little bit of this left, which is not long enough. You need, for mine, you need at least 24 inches. That's for 6-inch tails, a 12-inch loop. That's a 6-inch loop, you know, 6 and then 12. And then another 6-inch tail. So this is out. But this, the one we just used, that is in. So as long as it's the length of my mat, I can use it. And I like to sometimes go ahead and just cut these. Like if this is all I had left on the roll, I would cut that, throw it to the side and know that I can use it. And this is only 9 inches long. I can't do anything with that. That is waste. Throw our spool away. Let's pull in this one because I have 50 yards of it for some reason. And maybe we like this one so much we want to do 2. And here's another one. So those are a bunch of 1.5-inch ribbons, all kind of pastel-y. What can we put with that, y'all? Do I have enough of this? Yep. So this is 24. Cutting that beforehand, and then I have enough on here to do another one. I'm not going to add 2 of this. I'm just going to cut it, and I can look at this later in my ribbon box and be like, okay, that could be for a funky bow. And this is, of course, like 9 inches, so we lose that. Oh, here's another one that I think, yeah, this is just a scrap that I had. What do you want to bet this bottom, this end piece is going to be like 9 inches? Oh, no, it's only 6. Okay, so I need a, let me look over here. I have the 2.5 inch. Let me add this green. And you can do this on the bow maker and cut. I just, especially if I'm making like 3 of them for a wreath, I just like to kind of do it beforehand. I'm using one of that. And I love the way this bow looks. It's easy. I like the way it looks. It's kind of hard to mess up. So, you know, that's always a plus with me. What do you think? Maybe this polka dot? So I'm just making a generic Easter spring ribbon that is going to go with pretty much anything. So we have 3 2.5 inches and then a couple of the 1.5 inch. So yeah, I think that's enough to get started. I'm trying to see if there's anything else over here that I desperately want to add. And I don't think there is. Black and white? No. Alright. So starting off with whatever ribbon you want. I like to start off with a 2.5 inch. It really does not matter. I would start off with the 2.5 inch. I would start off with a wider ribbon first. And you don't have to put all the wide ribbon on the bottom. You can mix them, match them. We're just gonna do whatever feels right. So this is 6. Pleat it, put it in, fold it over, pull it to 6. Realize you have once again somehow managed to mismatch. Oh, that's because it's at like 7 over here. What's going on? I cut a bunch of these for a wreath and every one of them was measured wrong. But yeah, so these go out. This stays here. Let's take one of our plaids, since we have two of them. Now we're going to start over here. Put it in. Flip it. There and there. Probably should have started with this one in the back, but put it in. I like always put it in and then turn it, because I feel like I get more accurate measurements that way. Like, see, this is almost all the way to 7 again. And if you do miscut a little bit and this one's a little shorter, don't let that stress you out. Alright, and since this is my last 2.5 inch, I'm going to put this in here now, because if I add it in later, it's going to, all my 2.5 inches are going to end up on this side, so. Alright, and where is, I think I want what I want on top. I want the lacy one on top. And my other loop is going, this loop is going this way, so we want to put this over here. So let's throw in maybe the yellow. And again, y'all, it's called a funky bow for a reason. Oh wait, see, I did that wrong. My loop is supposed to go this way, which means I can use this. Because I don't want these two, since I have two of this ribbon, I don't want them both to end up on the same side. But again, it's a funky bow, it don't matter. Alright, so now let's put this in here. Starting over here, got a little turn around there. Okay. And then on this side, on this side, this is, all of these ribbons are from Craft Outlet. This one is from Michaels. And if you want, you could go in and add one last ribbon to make like the little center knot like we did with the first one. I don't feel like I need to do that. I don't know that I want to do that, because I like the way this bow kind of opens up. Alright, so let's get our, I'm like, let's get our bobby pin ready, because that's what it reminds me of. Alright, because this is a big stack, you want to make sure you hold on to this. So lift it up a little bit to make sure your fingers are all underneath. Okay, see? Following that indentation that we made from all our twists, going on both sides. Pulling it down, and then pushing it up. And if you were having trouble getting nice poofy bows without a lot of work, that's probably what you're doing wrong. Okay, now, the fluff. Which one do we do first? We did our green first. So we're gonna pull these in different directions and fluff this out. And like, see, this is a little twisted around here because I didn't do a proper twist apparently. Just get in there, twist it the other way, it should straighten itself out. All right, and then we did our 50-yard roll. That's what I keep calling it. One's gonna go here, one's gonna come over here. And then we did our, oh, this one's from Joann's. I said they were all from Craft Outlet, but this one is from the ones with the little dots. And I like kind of a neutral and a bright bow. And these are gonna spread out. And then our blue, spread these out. I mean, you can really yank on these bows. If you've done everything right, they should not be going anywhere. And this has got the little tape end on it. That one there, pull these out. Everything should still kind of be where it's supposed to be. And then this yellow, put these yellows, and then the purple. Wait, did I put this on the wrong way? I sure did. Why didn't y'all tell me that? Okay, that's supposed to be turned around. Again, it doesn't really matter. So just pull those out. Oh, it does kind of matter to me now. So I'm going to go between this and this, and I am just going to try to turn that. Okay, that's better. Oh, I felt like I was doing so good. Alright, so this is our funky bow, which looks very funky right now because it needs to be trimmed. It needs to finish. This is the one that's going to require the most, like, finagling. And I do my loops all the same size. I just find that I prefer that. Okay, so let's trim this up. I was so excited about eating lunch, but now my back hurts so bad I need to go lay down on a heating pad. So if you want to cut these on slants, if you want to cut these into dovetails, I almost cut that the wrong way. You just want to do something with them besides leaving them straight, because that just is not the look. And as always, make sure you leave like just one undone, so when you're packing your wreath, you can be like, oh wait, is that undone? Is that one not cut? And then you have to go back and cut it once it's already like wired into the box. Or you send it out without it being cut, and then you look back at the pictures and you're like, wait a minute. Okay, so I think that's all of them. And if not, that'll be a surprise for our customer. So now I'm just gonna pull these through my fingers to curl them under. If I need to pull them another way, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Stubborn right here. That green ribbon is really heavy. That's where it's like, sometimes it works good for you when it's heavy, and sometimes it's just troublesome. So you make sure all your little tails are curled, all your bows, all your loops are wide open and straight. don't be afraid to get in there. I mean, you're the boss of this. Oh, look at that. That would have been a little extra. I would have included in the order to make you feel like you did it yourself. You got to go in there and trim that off. Okay, so that is a funky bow. At least how I do it. And once it's on the wreath, you can obviously do more. And if you want to leave these tails a little longer, you could do 8 inches. I just kind of like that it's compact. This is how much space it's going to take. It should be 12 inches, right? No. Well, I mean, from like here to here, that's 12 inches. But I know that this is the only space it's going to occupy. I don't have to worry about like tails coming out over my sign or anywhere else. So those are my 3 bows that I use the most often. I am super into this bow right now. Don't really do the first one too much. I think that's like for a very specific look. I did that like on a bunch of Christmas wreaths though. 'Cause, you know, people like, that's like a very traditional bow. Alright, so thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, because I'm sure you have. If you have any questions, hit me up down below. In the description box, you can find links to my Etsy, my Instagram, and my Patreon if you want to join us over there. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.